compounds given in increasing or decreasing order of basic strength. Okay. So the first question which we have to do, that is, you have to arrange the given compound in increasing order of basic strength. The first one given is C6H5NH2, then C6H5 and CH3 whole twice, then C2H5 whole twice NH, and then CH3NH2. These four compounds are given. You have to arrange them in increasing order of basic strength. Okay. So see here, this is primary, this is tertiary, this is secondary, and this is again primary. Okay. So you know that if gaseous phase, because if nothing is given, it is not given that gaseous phase or in aqueous solution, you consider it as the gaseous phase only. In gaseous phase, the order of basic strength is that tertiary, it has maximum, then secondary, and then primary, then ammonia, and before ammonia is aniline. Isn't it? So this is the order in the gaseous phase. So first it should come aniline, because aniline, it has least basic strength. So we will write aniline first. Now, see, this is tertiary, but here one phenyl group is attached, benzene ring is attached. C6H5 means benzene ring. So when benzene ring is attached, it is an electron withdrawing group, and therefore the basic strength decreases. So next will come this only, substituted aniline. Now out of secondary and primary has a lesser basic strength, and then is secondary. So this is increasing order of basic strength. Okay. This question we have already done in decreasing order of pKb value. Once I will tell you, you have to arrange the given compounds in decreasing order of pKb value. The given compounds is C2H5NH2, that is ethanamide, then N-methyl-aniline, then diethylamine, and then aniline. These compounds are given. You have to arrange in decreasing order of pKb value. Now you know that decreasing order of pKb means increasing order of basic strength. Lesser the pKb, higher will be the basic strength. So the one which has maximum basic strength, you have to put in the last, because it will have the least pKb value. So out of these, see, this is your primary amine, this is secondary, and this is aniline, but it is also primary. So among them, aniline will have the least basic strength, means its pKb will be highest. Okay. So first it will come aniline. Its pKb will be highest. Then substituted aniline. Then will come primary amine, that is ethanamide, and the least pKb value will be of diethylamine. See, in your NCERT textbooks, answer given is wrong. Okay, so don't copy the answer from your book. There they have written the decreasing order, but this sign, it is reverse. We have to arrange in decreasing order of pKb value, not in basic strength. Okay, so pKb value of aniline is highest, so we have to put this sign. Okay, so remember this. Now next one, in increasing order of basic strength. Again we have to arrange in increasing order of basic strength. The compounds given is A with aniline, then para-nitroaniline, then para-toluene. Para-toluene. Okay, these compounds are given. So aniline, then para-nitroaniline, and para-toluene. These are the compounds. So you know that electron withdrawing groups will decrease the basic strength, whereas electron releasing group will increase the basic strength. Okay, so it means if we compare these two compounds with aniline, then toluene, para-toluene will have greater basic strength and nitroaniline will have lesser basic strength. So shall we give the number 1, 2, 3? Okay, so we have to arrange in increasing order of basic strength, means the third one has maximum basic strength, then first and second will have least basic strength. Is it clear? Now next given is we have been given aniline, then N-methylaniline, and then benzylamide. These compounds are given. Again you have to arrange it increasing order of basic strength. So out of this is aniline. Okay, shall I draw the structure? Then it will be more clear. This is aniline. This is N-methylaniline. And this is benzylamide. So see, in these two structures, your benzene ring is directly attached to the nitrogen, and therefore the lone pair of nitrogen will be withdrawn by the benzene ring. So basic strength will decrease, whereas here it is attached to the carbon. So and it is also a primary amine. So this will have the maximum basic strength. Third will have maximum basic strength. Now out of these two, here the basic strength is somewhat increased due to the methyl group because it is electron releasing in nature, isn't it? So therefore second will have more basic strength than the first. So 1, 2, 3 is the order. Understood? Now next compounds are given. C2H5NH2, then C2H5 whole twice NH, C2H5 whole thrice N, and NH3. These four compounds are given, and you have to arrange in decreasing order of basic strength. In decreasing order of basic strength. So the one which has minimum basic strength should come last. Okay. This is primary amine, this is secondary, this is tertiary, and this is ammonia. So you know the order in gaseous phase. What is the order? Tertiary, then secondary, then primary, and then ammonia. Isn't it? Tertiary, secondary, primary, ammonia. That is 3, 2, 1, 4. Decreasing order. The next given is that you have to arrange the given compound in increasing order of boiling point. ethanol, dimethylamine, ethanamine. These three compounds are given. You have to arrange in increasing order of boiling point. So out of amine and alcohol, which will have higher boiling point? Alcohol. So maximum boiling point will be of alcohol. Now out of primary and secondary, which has higher boiling point? Primary. Why? Because more number of hydrogen means more extent of hydrogen bonding. So more hydrogen bonding will have more boiling point. Therefore maximum will be your alcohol, then primary amine, and then secondary amine. The next one given is that you have to arrange an increasing order of solubility in water. So the compounds given is C6H5NH2, C2H5 whole twice NH, and C2H5NH2. Solubility in water also depends upon the extent of hydrogen bonding. So more extent of hydrogen bonding will be in primary amine. Now this is primary, this is secondary, and this is also primary amine. Isn't it? Now these two are primary amine and they will have more extent of hydrogen bonding. Out of these two, which will have more hydrogen bonding? This one. Why? Because here bulky benzene ring is present, therefore it will hinder. Steric hindrance will be caused, therefore extent of hydrogen bonding will be lesser here. So secondary, then aniline, and then ethanol. This will be the order. So other conversions are clear? Have you done the conversions given? That day already we have done for other students. I should repeat them. You have to convert chloroethane to propanamine. Okay, you have to convert chloroethane to propanamine. When you are converting this, you see here that here one carbon is increasing, and when you have to increase one carbon, you have to treat this with ethanolic or alcoholic, potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide, anything you can take. So you will get here propane nitride. You will get propane nitride. Now this propane nitride you can reduce to give amine. Okay. Similarly, you have benzylamine and you have to convert it into 2-phenylethanamine. Okay, 2-phenylethanamine. Again you have to increase one carbon there. So treat it with ethanolic, sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide. Sorry, here it is chloro. Okay, so you will get here CH2Cl. NaCl will be removed and you can reduce it. Then next they are asking that you have to give the structure and IUPAC name of the amide which gives propanamide by Huffman degradation reaction. You need propanamide. By Huffman degradation. Okay, so what amide you require here? So I told that in Huffman degradation, the product will have one carbon less than the reactant. Okay, so it means your reactant should have 4 carbon. 4 carbon amide is butanamide. Therefore, here we require butanamide. Is it clear? Then there you will get K2CO3 plus 2 KBr plus 2H3. You can take NaOH or KOH, anything. Wherever it is NaOH, you can take KOH. Wherever it is KOH, you can take NaOH. Almost same function. Then the next one, the amide formed by the Huffman degradation of benzamide. When benzamide is there, benzamide is CONH2. Then which amine will be formed? One carbon will be lost and we will get aniline. Okay. Then next one, how will you convert? So how will you convert benzene to aniline? Benzene you have to convert into aniline. So how can we convert? See here, directly we cannot introduce this amino group on the benzene ring, but we can introduce nitro group. So first of all, you do nitration. You will get nitrobenzene, and this nitro group you can convert into amino group with the help of reducing agents such as FeHCl or any other. Okay. Then you have to convert benzene into N,N-dimethylaniline. Benzene into N,N-dimethylaniline. So how we can do? Again, first do nitration. Get nitrobenzene. Do reduction, get aniline, treat this aniline with 2 moles of chloromethane. You will get N,N-dimethylamine. Okay. And last one is that you have been given 1,4-dichlorobutane and you have to convert it into hexane 1,6-diamine. Means 2 carbons you have to increase. So treat it with 2 moles of KCN alcoholic. So you have both sides CN group. Reduce. you will get hexane 1,6-diol. Okay. So these were the questions which I have given for homework. Now let us study the chemical properties. We were actually studying chemical properties, and the first property, that is basic strength of amine, we have already completed. Let us come to the second. The second one is alkylation. This reaction actually you have studied in ammonolysis, in the preparation of amine, that when amines, they are treated with haloalkane. This is primary amine. I can write it in this way. So HCl will be removed and alkyl group is introduced. Primary amine is converted to secondary amine. Because introduction of alkyl group is taking place, it is known as alkylation. Okay. Further, if you take one more mole of haloalkane, this HCl will also get removed and you will get tertiary amine. Okay. Name of this compound is, this is methanamine. This is N-methyl methanamine. And this is N-N dimethyl methanamine. Okay, so this is how alkylation take place. You can similarly you can do alkylation for any compound. Okay. Now next one is acylation. Third property. Acylation means introduction of acyl group. Acyl group is COCH3 group. COCH3 group is known as acyl group. So introduction of acyl group is known as acylation. And this can be done by treating the amines with acid halide or acid anhydride, or you can take esters. Which three compounds? Acid halide, acid anhydride or ester. Okay. So I will show you with acid halide. Suppose we have general reaction RNH2. When you treat it with acid halide, R-COCl. Okay. So HCl will be removed and this acyl group will be introduced. COR is acyl group. COCH3 not compulsory, NER, COR. This is acyl group. So COR is introduced. Acylation. Therefore it is known as acylation. And this group RCONH, this is known as amide. So amides are formed here. Amide. Amine is converted to amide. The process is known as acylation. Now, if we want to increase the yield, the production of amide, what we should do? To shift the equilibrium towards the right hand side, we have to remove the product. Okay. So if we remove this product, that is HCl or any amide, then our equilibrium will be shifted in the forward direction. In order to do this, we carry out the reaction in the presence of base like pyridine. So pyridine, it will neutralize the hydrochloric acid formed and therefore the equilibrium will be shifted towards the forward direction. Let us take one example, such as we have ethanamide. Ethanamide treated with, take here, ethanoyl chloride. Ethanoyl chloride. Remove this HCl, in the presence of pyridine. So amide is formed here. Okay, now this amide here, nitrogen is substituted with methyl group, therefore it is known as N-methyl, and 2 carbons are there, so ethanamide. N-methyl ethanamide. Understood? Similarly, we can carry out the reaction with acid anhydride. This is acetic anhydride. So acid will be removed and acylation take place. Same compound. Is it clear? You can take acid halide or acid anhydride or ester. Similarly, the reaction will be with ester. In case of ester, alcohol will be removed. Okay. But if you take carboxylic acid, what will happen? Here you are taking acid derivatives. Okay. These are acid derivatives. So you are getting amide. But if you take, instead of this acid derivative, if you take carboxylic acid, can you tell me what will happen? This is a base, this is acid. So salt formation will take place. You will get CH3NH3 plus CHCOO minus CH3. Salt. Okay. Let us come to the next one. This is 4. That is carbyl amide reaction. A very important reaction. It is also a test for primary amines. If you want to distinguish primary amine, we can use this reaction. Now what is the reaction? When primary amines, this reaction is given only by primary amine. Secondary and tertiary amines will not give this reaction. So when primary amine, you can take aniline also. When it is treated with chloroform and potash, that is KOH, or you can take NaOH, anyone. Then here carbyl amine is a common name given to isocyanides. Isocyanide or isonitrile. Isocyanide is its common name, isonitrile is its IUPAC name, and carbyl amine is also its common name. These compounds, this is carbyl amine. Okay, this is phenyl isocyanide or phenyl isonitrile, IUPAC. It has very unpleasant odor, highly poisonous. You remember a tragedy took place some days back in Visakhapatnam. A gas was leaked, right? Isocyanide. Bhopal gas tragedy. There also methyl isocyanide was leaked. It is so poisonous that if it is inhaled in large quantity, right, or in a very small quantity, also if you will inhale, then it will immediately cause headache, nausea, like that. And if large quantity is there, so many mutations take place in your body. You know, in Bhopal, till now, the people who are born means their genetic changes has took place, and still the people are giving birth to the babies with disabilities. So that 1984 to see this time, still this is there. So that is the poisonous nature of this isocyanide. Okay, plus 3 KCl plus 3 H2. So that is known as carbylamine reaction. So if primary amine is treated, here it is aniline. Primary amine is treated with chloroform and potash. Isocyanide is formed, which will give you unpleasant odor. It is a burning tire type odor. If tire burns, we get that smell, a bad smell, almost same smell it will come. And we can easily identify that isocyanide is formed. And when isocyanide is formed, it means the amine given is primary amine. So you are asked to distinguish between, they will ask you to distinguish between methanamine and N-methyl methanamine. So how will you distinguish? With the help of this carbylamine test. Okay? Or amine, primary amine with any other compound. If you have to distinguish, you can use this test. Okay? Then let us come to the next one. That is fifth one, and that is diazotization. This reaction you have studied in haloalkanes. What is diazotization? The treatment of amine with HNO2, nitrous acid. Okay, at 0 to 5 degree Celsius to give diazonium salt is known as diazotization. Now in diazotization, we will first study about the aliphatic amines. When aliphatic amines are diazotized, then what happens? So let us take methanamine. First you write this reaction. We take here sodium nitrite treated with HCl. It will give you nitrous acid plus sodium chloride. Now, aliphatic amine, when it is treated with this nitrous acid, I have written ONOH, okay, plus HCl. Then see here, one water molecule from here and one water molecule from here will be released. Okay, and you will get here CH3 N2 plus Cl minus. This is methyl diazonium chloride. Diazonium salt is formed. But this diazonium salt, that is aliphatic diazonium salt, it is highly unstable. So as soon as it is formed, because water is formed here, 2 moles of water is formed. So because as soon as it is formed, it will get hydrolyzed. And it will give you CH3OH plus N2 plus H. Okay, it get hydrolyzed to give you alcohol. So in the case of diazotization of aliphatic amines, you will get alcohol as a product. You will not get diazonium salt. You will get alcohol as a product. So whenever you will do diazotization, you will get alcohol. But in the case of aromatic amines, done this one. same reaction. We have taken here aniline. You will get diazonium salt, because these aromatic diazonium salts, they are stable up to 10 degrees Celsius. So it will stay. And you know that so many compounds are formed by this diazonium salt. We will study in the next section, that is diazonium salt. Okay, so up to diazotization we have done. Rest we will do in the next class. Okay, we will do the another test and diazonium salts in the next class. Till then, goodbye.